History of United States of America. The United States of America, forged through a tumultuous history, is a nation shaped by the convergence of diverse cultures, a relentless pursuit of freedom, and the constant adaptation to changing global landscapes. From its colonial beginnings to becoming a global superpower, the U.S. narrative is one of resilience, innovation, and the ongoing pursuit of democratic ideals. Pre-Columbian era. The pre-Columbian era in American history refers to the time before the arrival of Christopher Columbus in 1492 and the subsequent European exploration and colonization of the Americas. This era spans thousands of years and encompasses a remarkable diversity of cultures, civilizations, and societies that developed independently on the continents of North and South America. In North America, various Native American cultures emerged, adapting to a wide range of environments, from the Arctic tundra to the deserts of the Southwest. The indigenous peoples of North America engaged in hunting, gathering, and agriculture, and their societies ranged from nomadic tribes to settled agricultural communities. The mound-building cultures of the eastern woodlands, such as the Adena and Hopewell, left behind impressive earthworks and ceremonial sites. In Central America, the ancient Maya civilization flourished with advanced achievements in astronomy, mathematics, and architecture. The Aztec civilization in present-day Mexico built the great city of Tenochtitlan, known for its intricate urban planning and monumental structures. In South America, the Andean region saw the rise of complex societies like the Moche and Nazca, while the Inca Empire became one of the largest and most sophisticated pre-Columbian civilizations, known for its extensive road networks, agricultural terracing, and administrative centers like Machu Picchu. The pre-Columbian era was marked by rich cultural diversity, intricate social structures, and innovative agricultural practices. Trade networks facilitated the exchange of goods and ideas among different indigenous groups. These societies developed unique art forms, languages, and religious beliefs, leaving behind a profound and lasting impact on the cultural heritage of the Americas. The arrival of Columbus and subsequent European contact in 1492 initiated a new chapter in American history, leading to the complex and often tumultuous interactions between indigenous peoples and European settlers. Colonial period, 17th to 18th century. The colonial period in American history, spanning the 17th and 18th centuries, was a pivotal era characterized by the establishment and growth of European colonies along the eastern seaboard of North America. European powers, primarily England, France, Spain, and the Netherlands, sought economic opportunities, religious freedom, and geopolitical advantage in the New World. The English colonies, including Jamestown in 1607 and Plymouth in 1620, faced initial challenges, such as harsh environmental conditions and conflicts with indigenous populations. Over time, these colonies evolved socially, economically, and politically, with regions like New England, the Middle Colonies, and the Southern Colonies developing distinct characteristics. The economy flourished through agriculture, trade, and mercantilism, while diverse religious and cultural influences shaped local societies. Tensions between the colonies and the British Crown escalated over issues of taxation and representation, culminating in the American Revolution in the late 18th century. The colonial period laid the foundation for the formation of the United States, shaping the principles of self-governance, individual rights, and diverse cultural influences that continue to define the nation today. American Revolution, 1775 to 1783. The American Revolution, spanning from 1775 to 1783, was a transformative conflict that marked the birth of the United States as an independent nation, fueled by grievances over perceived British oppression and a desire for self-governance. Tensions between the American colonies and the British Crown reached a tipping point. The conflict commenced with the battles of Lexington and Concord in 1775 and escalated into a full-scale war for independence. The Continental Army, led by figures such as George Washington, faced considerable challenges, including harsh winters, logistical difficulties, and a formidable British military. The war witnessed key turning points, such as the American victory at the Battle of Saratoga in 1777, which contributed to securing crucial French support. In 1781, the British surrender at Yorktown effectively ended the military phase of the conflict. The Treaty of Paris in 1783 formally recognized the independence of the United States, establishing the new nation's boundaries and marking the end of British rule. The revolution had far-reaching consequences, inspiring democratic movements globally and shaping the foundations of American government through documents like the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution. The Revolutionary War laid the groundwork for the principles of individual rights, representative democracy, and the pursuit of liberty that continue to define the United States. The period following the war witnessed the challenges of creating a stable government and addressing issues such as the formation of a federal constitution, leading to the drafting of the U.S. Constitution in 1787. Constitutional period, 1787 to 1789. The constitutional period, spanning from 1787 to 1789, was a critical phase in American history characterized by the drafting and ratification of the United States Constitution. In the aftermath of the American Revolution, the weaknesses of the Articles of Confederation became apparent, prompting the need for a stronger and more centralized form of government. The Constitutional Convention convened in Philadelphia in 1787, with delegates from the 13 states crafting a new framework for the nation. The delegates, including notable figures like James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, and George Washington, engaged in intense debates to reconcile differing perspectives on issues such as representation, federalism, and the balance of power between the states and the federal government. The result was the United States Constitution, a groundbreaking document that established the structure of the federal government, delineated the powers of its branches, and enshrined the principles of checks and balances. The ratification process was a complex and contentious endeavor, as the Constitution faced opposition from anti-federalists who were concerned about the potential for an overly powerful central government. To address these concerns, the Federalist Papers, a series of essays written by Hamilton, Madison, and John Jay, were published to articulate the benefits and safeguards of the proposed Constitution. In 1788, the required 9 states ratified the Constitution, and it officially took effect in 1789. The first presidential election was held, resulting in George Washington becoming the nation's first president. Civil War, 1861 to 1865. The American Civil War, spanning from 1861 to 1865, stands as a defining chapter in U.S. history, rooted in the profound sectional divide over the institution of slavery. Triggered by the secession of Southern states following Abraham Lincoln's election, the conflict pitted the Union against the Confederacy in a brutal struggle marked by significant battles and technological advancements in warfare. The war exacted a staggering toll in human lives and infrastructure, with the Union emerging victorious in 1865. The conclusion of the conflict marked the abolition of slavery with the ratification of the 13th Amendment, a monumental step toward realizing the nation's commitment to equality. However, the war's aftermath ushered in the complex era of Reconstruction, attempting to reconcile the nation and address the challenges of integrating newly freed African Americans into American society. The Civil War remains a pivotal moment, shaping the trajectory of the United States and laying the groundwork for subsequent struggles over civil rights and societal transformation. Reconstruction era, 1865 to 1877. The Reconstruction era, spanning from 1865 to 1877, emerged as a pivotal chapter in American history, seeking to heal the wounds inflicted by the Civil War and redefine the nation's social and political landscape. The period began with the promise of transformative change, underscored by the abolition of slavery through the 13th Amendment and the establishment of the Freedmen's Bureau to assist newly freed African Americans. However, the South's resistance to racial equality manifested in the enactment of black codes and the rise of discriminatory practices. Despite the ratification of the 14th Amendment, which granted equal protection under the law, the era witnessed the emergence of racially motivated violence, including activities by the Ku Klux Klan. While African American men gained the right to vote with the 15th Amendment, the Compromise of 1877 marked the end of Reconstruction, leading to the withdrawal of federal troops and the imposition of Jim Crow laws. Although the era fell short of its goals, it laid the foundation for subsequent civil rights struggles, contributing to the constitutional amendments and legal precedents that would shape the civil rights movement in the 20th century. Industrialization, late 19th century. The late 19th century witnessed a profound transformation in the United States as the nation rapidly transitioned into an industrial powerhouse, marking the era of industrialization, characterized by technological advancements, economic growth, and societal changes. This period saw the shift from agrarian and artisanal economies to large-scale industrial production. Innovations such as the steam engine, telegraph, and the assembly line revolutionized manufacturing processes, leading to increased efficiency and the rise of large industrial corporations. Major industries, including steel, railroads, and textiles, experienced unprecedented expansion, with figures like Andrew Carnegie and John D. Rockefeller became synonymous with industrial magnates. Urbanization surged as people flocked to burgeoning industrial centers in search of employment, transforming small towns into bustling cities. While industrialization brought economic prosperity, it also brought challenges, including harsh working conditions, labor strikes, and debates over the role of government in regulating business practices. The late 19th century industrialization laid the groundwork for the United States' emergence as a global economic power, shaping the trajectory of the nation's economy, society, and politics well into the 20th century. World Wars, 20th century. The 20th century bore witness to two devastating global conflicts, known as World War I and World War II, that reshaped the geopolitical landscape and left an indelible mark on human history. World War I, spanning from 1914 to 1918, erupted from a complex web of political alliances and militarization, resulting in unprecedented levels of destruction and loss of life. The war introduced new technologies and tactics, including trench warfare, and ended with the signing of the Treaty of Versailles, which imposed harsh penalties on Germany. The interwar period was marked by economic challenges and political instability. World War II, occurring from 1939 to 1945, emerged as an even more catastrophic conflict, fueled by territorial ambitions, totalitarian ideologies, and unresolved issues from the First World War. The war involved major powers, including the Allies, led by the United States, the Soviet Union, and the United Kingdom, and the Axis, led by Nazi Germany, Italy, and Japan. It saw the systematic genocide of the Holocaust, the use of atomic weapons in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and the establishment of the United Nations in its aftermath. World War II reshaped the global balance of power, with the emergence of the United States and the Soviet Union as superpowers. Both wars brought about significant social, economic, and technological changes, including the advancement of military technology, the role of women in the workforce, and the establishment of international institutions to promote peace and cooperation. Civil Rights Movement, 1950 to 1960. The Civil Rights Movement, spanning the 1950s and 1960s, stands as a pivotal chapter in American history, marked by a fervent and determined push for racial equality and justice. Fueled by the tireless efforts of activists and ordinary citizens alike, the movement sought to dismantle systemic racial segregation and discrimination that pervaded various aspects of American society. Key events include the landmark Brown v. Board of Education Supreme Court decision in 1954, which declared state-sponsored segregation in public schools unconstitutional, and the Montgomery bus boycott in 1955, sparked by Rosa Parks' refusal to give up her seat to a white man. Martin Luther King Jr. emerged as a central figure, advocating for nonviolent resistance and delivering his iconic "I Have a Dream" speech during the March on Washington in 1963. The movement gained momentum through acts of civil disobedience, such as sit-ins and freedom rides, challenging segregation in public spaces. The struggle for voting rights culminated in the Selma to Montgomery marches of 1965, which played a crucial role in the passage of the Voting Rights Act. Contemporary era. In the context of American history, the contemporary era typically refers to the period from the latter half of the 20th century to the present day. This era is marked by transformative events, social changes, and geopolitical shifts that have shaped the United States into the nation it is today. The mid-20th century witnessed the Civil Rights Movement, a pivotal struggle for racial equality and justice. Landmark legislation, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964 and the Voting Rights Act of 1965, aimed to dismantle institutionalized discrimination and segregation, significantly altering the landscape of American society. The latter part of the 20th century saw the United States emerge as a global superpower, engaged in geopolitical challenges, such as the Cold War with the Soviet Union. The end of the Cold War in the late 1980s and the early 1990s marked a shift in global dynamics, with the United States becoming the world's sole superpower. Technological advancements, particularly the rise of the internet and digital technologies, have had a profound impact on American life. The dot-com boom of the late 20th century paved the way for the information age, influencing communication, commerce, and entertainment. Economic shifts, including the globalization of trade and the development of Silicon Valley as a technological hub, have shaped the American economy. The 2008 financial crisis and subsequent economic challenges underscore the complexities of the contemporary economic landscape. The 21st century has been marked by ongoing debates and developments in areas such as immigration policy, healthcare reform, and responses to global challenges like climate change. The events of September 11, 2001, and subsequent efforts in the War on Terror have also had a lasting impact on American foreign and domestic policies. As the United States navigates contemporary challenges such as political polarization, social justice movements, and public health crises, the nation continues to evolve, adapt, and grapple with the complexities of the contemporary era in its ongoing narrative. Do you think you'd enjoy it? Click the like button and subscribe to our channels for more videos.